View and Google Calendar with a screen reader. I am Harris Rosenzweig. I'm the Director of Accessibility for TCSAccess. It's nice to see some old friends and folks we've worked with in the past. A little bit of information about TCSAccess. We've been around since the 80s. We are a company that is dedicated to the advancement of equal access for persons with disability, whether it's in the enterprise, in an education setting, or one-on-one in the home. We're proud to be hosting this important webinar, which is a part of a series we're putting on. Sorry, I'm just. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yeah, Harris, yours all set. Sorry about that.
Okay, that's okay, no problem. Yeah, some of our webinars like the one today are very technically
oriented. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thanks. We do ones on the accessibility of Microsoft Office, PDFs, web accessibility, whether it's desktop or mobile. Some are on general accessibility issues for the disability community, like the one we did recently on accessibility of voting for persons who are blind, which we'll be repeating again on October 22nd as the election draws near. Others center around accessibility within the enterprise, in the public or the private sector, such as the one we did 2 weeks ago, and supporting employees with disabilities who use assistive technology in the enterprise. September 10, we'll be doing one kind of as a follow-up on AT assessments in companies. We also have one on accessible e-learning coming up at the end of September, so stay tuned. We would also like to hear from you regarding any topics that you would find interesting that you would like us to do. Lastly, a little bit of a plug. We did make it to the Inc. 5000 list of fastest growing companies in America, so we're pretty proud of that. A little bit of housekeeping. Some of you are probably Zoom veterans by now. If you want to get to the chat box, if you want to put in your chat, and my apologies for not introducing my colleague, Matt Belcher, who's our moderator today. He's our Director of Operations for TCSAccess. Thank you very much, Matt. He will be checking the chat box. If you should have a question, we will try our best to answer questions as we go, but we do have a lot of material to cover, so I might move it a little bit to the end if we don't have time. So again, Alt-H for chat, Alt-A to unmute or mute yourself, Alt-V is to turn your video on and off. We do have live captioning today, thanks to Tina, and if you were to access the closed captions button and select show subtitles, you would be able to see those. We are recording the webinar, and we will provide a transcript, a resource document, and PowerPoint slides, information on where to get these slides, and the recording will be at the very end. I'm not going to slavishly pay attention to the PowerPoint because I'm going to be hands-on actually doing it. So that is the more important. Just pay attention to what I'm doing, and I've got my screen sound shared.
Full speech.
And I'm hoping you just heard that JAWS say that.
Space. Speech on demand.
Okay. All right. So where did this series come from? So I've been working in the field of assistive technology for 30 years. And I think what's so unique about our company, TCSAccess, is that we are at the coal face of accessibility. And it's what I like to call the last mile of accessibility, where you have an individual who needs a specific accommodation, often requiring assistive technology that needs to be implemented in a particular IT context. And that's where I think we shine. And folks, that's where you have to get into the weeds. You have to figure out those obscure features that maybe no one knew were there, to find out what the limits of the assistive technology are and how the mainstream technology can be configured to help the customer achieve their goals. So this is a series of webinars that tries to share some of this more technical knowledge that we've gained and to learn from you, the participants, because we don't always have all the answers. So if you are getting something from the webinar, but perhaps you would like more individualized instruction, we recently announced we're offering our My AT program remotely. So which in a nutshell is on-demand assessment, training, and support where you can purchase blocks of hours. That's in a nutshell what My AT is. Whether you're a home user, you're in the education or rehabilitation organization, or a workplace. Information on where to read more about and sign up for my AT blocks of time are on our conclusion slides. So without further ado, let's go over the webinar outline, the presentation goals. So number one, how to access basic HTML and standard views of Gmail. Number two, describe basic HTML and standard view of Gmail application and kind of talk about the key differences between them. We're going to review some basic email processes that everyone would use every day in Gmail using the standard view, using Google's keyboard shortcuts, and also driving home when to use the virtual PC cursor. I will be using JAWS today. There's some configuration settings for Gmail that I'll be touching on, but those will be in this very detailed resource sheet that we worked very hard on. Lastly, we'll be going over Google Calendar and some of the most important functions there and how accessible that is. Okay, so that's the outline. I think I'm going to veer away from the PowerPoints at this stage, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about a little bit of the backstory of this. So over the years, we've seen a great majority of the screen reader users, at least I have, use the basic HTML view. This is a really reasonable choice if you know how to navigate a web page with your screen reader, and you're going to have a fairly seamless experience. My understanding is that they created this special view as the standard view, at least a little while ago, was not very accessible to screen reader users. Well, I'm here to tell you that, in my opinion, with some practice, you can learn to use the standard view with your screen reader. Is it perfect? No. Occasionally, some of the objects are not what you'd expect, but the keystrokes work consistently, and with some training, you could learn to use it too. And quite honestly, folks, as an AT trainer, I'm not a big fan of separate but equal user interfaces. I would rather everyone be using the same interface. Because there's some problems when we create a separate user interface for the same application. So that separate application, like the basic HTML, may not keep pace. All the features may not keep pace with what's in the standard view, which is what 95% of the world is using. In fact, there's a link in the Google reference in our document that details all the features that aren't available in the basic HTML version, such as a spell checker, keystroke commands, rich formatting, and others. So recently, a friend of mine came to me who was using Outlook in conjunction with his Gmail account, and he was having terrible problems syncing not only his email, but not able to easily create, say, an appointment in his Outlook calendar and have it show up on his iPhone, and vice versa. So after weeks and weeks of troubleshooting with Microsoft and Google, we decided, hey, I think it's time that you learned how to use the native Gmail application. He called a friend of his, and the friend said, hey, use the basic HTML. I'm like, hey, Jim, I've been looking at the standard view, and I think we can go for it. So that's a little bit of the backstory here. So now I'm going to go right into, I'm going to Alt-Tab, I'm going to
Full speech.
make sure I'm at full speech here. I'm going to Alt-Tab.
Task
to
switching.
my-
Inbox left paren 28 right paren dash TCSAccess@gmail.com.
So I do have icons on my desktop that
Shanek
would allow
Cole
me,
has joined the meeting. Leaving menu.
to quickly get to either the basic HTML view or the standard view. Those links are in the materials as well. So when I first come in, I'm using, again, the standard view of Gmail here. I'm coming into an environment with checkboxes and what looks like our standard inbox. I've got the sender and the subject information showing. So I'm going to start pressing the down arrow just to kind of get a sense of where I am within my Gmail inbox.
Inbox left paren 28 right paren dash TCSAccess@gmail.com dash gmail dash me FWD:2 more attach Unread. Harris Rosenzweig. Harris Rosenzweig. Sample email with text. August 20.
When I hit the down arrow, the very first item on this email line is a checkbox. It's not saying it, but it's there for each and every email for me to select or not select it. So I'm going to
Tara Aziz has left the meet.
open this email now, and we're going to try to do some navigation.
Enter. Sample email with.
Okay, so I'm inside the email, and I want to make sure that my virtual PC cursor is on, because I need to make sure it's on so that I can read this email. I'm going to press Insert Z.
Use virtual PC cursor off.
It's off, so I need to make sure it's on. I'm going to turn it on,
Use virtual PC cursor on.
and I'm going to start to press the down arrow to read this email.
Inbox button. Remove label button. List of 1 items. Heading level 3 Harris Rosenzweig. Wednesday, August 26th, 11:02 a.m. Left paren 1 day ago. Right not start checkbox. Reply button. More button. Met to me. Show details button. Reply more. Hi Harris. This is a test to see.
So as you may have noticed, I hit the down arrow a bunch of times to get to the body of this email. I have not found a quick way to jump to the body of this email. You might have thought, oh, Harris, try the letter N for skip non-text, non-linked text. I've tried that. It jumps me to some strange place. So it's something I'm going to bring to Google's attention, but it's not so bad. I can just use my down arrow. I can maybe shave a few down arrows off if I hit the letter H.
Harris Rosenzweig heading level 3.
And then hit the down arrow from there. But I have not found a quick way to get to the body of that text. So let's say this was not the email that I wanted, and I want to go back to my inbox. So I'm going to go to my previous web page using my previous web page command, Alt left arrow.
Back. Inbox left paren 28 right paren dash xaccesstrain@gmail.com dash gmail dash Google Chrome. Main region. Grid. Harris Rosenzweig. Sample email with text.
So where would you expect it to land? Well, of course, on the email that I opened. Not at the top, not somewhere in the middle, but on that same email, and yes, it does. So that's number one. Good job, Google. So when I'm here in the inbox, if I wanted to go to the very top email, if I was in Outlook, I would press Control Home, and I would get there. I can't do that here. To do that,
Michelle Duquette.
this is where we're going to start using our Google keystrokes instead of the standard navigation quick keys I might use in JAWS. So to use those Google keystrokes, I need to make sure that the virtual PC cursor in JAWS is off. Okay, so I'm going to just check that. I'm going to do my Insert Z, which is my toggle.
Use virtual PC cursor off.
Okay, so now it's off. Now I'm free to use these Google shortcuts, which often begin with the letter G. G for go to. So for example, GI.
Harris Rosenzweig. Proposal material. 9:47 a.m. Hi George. I was looking over the proposal material.
GI will always take me to the topmost email, no matter where I am. So that is a very handy hotkey to be able to use.
Gil Lamont has entered the waiting room for this meeting.
Sorry about that. I'm going to
Harris Rosenzweig.
go into this email, this topmost
Enter.
email.
Proposal material dash xaccesstrain@.
And I'm going to hit the down arrow just to hear
Gil
some of the
Lamont has
text here. Oh, I'm advancing my screen, moving it up and down because my virtual PC cursor is not on. I'm going to make sure it's on so that I can read the email.
Use virtual PC cursor on. Inbox button. Remove list heading 9 nuts. Read more to me. Show details. Reply. Hi George. I was looking over the proposal material.
There you go. Now I'm using my virtual PC cursor. I'm able to read the email. And so suppose I wanted to do some of the common things you would want to do, like reply, or perhaps there was more than one person. I want to reply to all. So this is where I can go back and use some very simple Google shortcuts. Again, I need to make sure my virtual PC cursor is off. So do Insert Z.
Use virtual PC cursor off.
I'm going to press the letter R for reply.
R. List, with 1 items. This message was replied to. Harris Rosenzweig 9:47 a.m. left paren 3 hours ago right paren not start reply more to me show details. Hi George, I was looking over the proposal.
All right, I'm gonna quiet that. It brought up a box where I can type my reply. I'll just type
TCSAccess, exclaim, words.
And at this point, I could tab to the send button, and or I could press Control Enter to send this reply, which I'll do now.
Control Enter, sending ... sending ... cancel, proposal material TCSAccess@gmail.com-gmail, message sent, undo.
Now it said message sent undo. It's a little box in the lower left corner. If I hit the letter Z,
undoing ... sending
it will
undone.
undo that. Now I have to do that in a prescribed amount of time, which you can set. Mine, I think, is set to 20 seconds. So it's a very handy feature. I just pressed Control Enter to send. And then when I heard message sent, I pressed the letter Z, and I was able to undo that action, and it put me right back into the reply box. I can press the hotkey Control-Shift-D to delete this draft, which I'm going to do right now. Control-Shift-D.
Control-Shift-D, draft discarded, undo link. No.
Okay, it says draft discarded. So Google's doing a good job of passing information to JAWS about what is happening on the screen. So likewise, I can forward this email. I just press the letter F.
F, main region, list, with 1 items. This message was replied to. Harris Rosenzweig 9:47 a.m.
I'm going to press my, speak my current line.
Blank.
It says blank.
Karen has left the meeting.
I'm going to try insert tab.
To edit combo, to set the value.
All right, that gave me a little more information, showed me I'm at the to field. So I'm going to send this to my colleague, Ben.
BN, Matthew Belcher, MatthewAccess.com, 1 of 3, TCSAccess. Enter, main region, list.
And if I wanted to CC someone, I have to press the hotkey Control-Shift-C.
Control-Shift-C, CC edit combo.
Okay, let's say I CC to Matt.
TT, Matthew Belcher, MatthewAccess.com. Enter, main region.
If I want BCC, I have to press Control-Shift-B.
Control-Shift-B, BCC edit combo.
And let's say I want to skip that, I'm going to press the tab key.
Message body edit.
And I'll just say thanks.
Thanks, space.
So I've emailed Google asking if there's a way that you can always have CC and BCC showing, say, in the settings. That's not currently possible. You always have to hit those hotkeys. Here again, I will delete my draft by pressing Control-Shift-D.
Control-Shift-D, draft discarded, undo link, none selected.
Okay, just want to make sure I'm being thorough here in all my. Similarly, the letter C for compose. I can use that letter C from anywhere, whether I'm in the inbox or if I just read this email, I'm going to press the letter C.
C, compose : new message dialog, new message region, to edit combo.
I'll send it to Matt.
T, Matthew Belcher, enter, compose : new message dialog.
And again, likewise, I would have to press Control-Shift-C to produce a CC.
Control-Shift-C, CC edit combo. N, Matthew, enter, compose : new message dialog, blank. CC edit combo. To set the value, use the arrow keys or type the value.
Okay, I put in Ben at TCSAccess. JAWS didn't tell me that, even though I pressed Insert Tab. So I could fill out this message. I would tab to the subject.
Subject edit, subject.
And then when I was finished with it, I would press Control Enter. That's our send, or I could press Tab to the send button.
Message, send left paren Control - Enter right paren button.
As I just did just now. I'm going to escape because I don't want to compose the rest of this.
Escape.
Okay. I'm going to do one more thing, and then I'm going to stop and ask if there's any questions. I'm going to compose another message very quickly.
C, compose, T, enter, subject,
Test, email.
Email. Compose : test email dialog, test email region, message body edit.
I'm in the message body, and I'm going to intentionally misspell something.
The space 1 2 come question.
All right, so let's say I've typed a short message. I'm going to go back over my text.
Home, G, spelling options, press tab to access, escape to ignore, golf.
press tab to access. So it's giving me a spelling suggestion here. I see it as a little pop-up, and next to the pop-up is a circle with an X in it. So I'm going to press tab like it said.
Menu. Misspelling menu. Going. 1 of 2. Suggestion.
Okay, so I misspelled the word going, and it gave me the word going. So I can just press tab and then enter on the suggestion if I want that.
Enter. Leaving menus. Compose : test email dialog. Test email region. Message body edit. Suggestion inserted.
Suggestion inserted. So now if I go back over it.
Going. To the movies, want to come question.
Okay, so that is a very cool feature that is quite accessible, the suggestions. I'm going to get rid of this draft.
Control-Shift-D. Draft discarded. Undo link. None selected.
Okay, so now I'd like to stop for a moment. If anyone has any questions, I know I've gone through that fairly rapidly.
Jane Carona raised hand.
We have a raised hand from Jane. Jane, if you want to unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay, did I unmute myself okay? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, good, okay. I've not used this on my computer before. How do we get the information as to what URLs to use to get to these Gmail features? And oh, there was another one. Oh, I forget what that was. Well, that's the basic one. How do we find out how to do this? Oh, the other one was if we already have a Gmail account, from this URL that you're going to give us, hopefully, is there a way you have to sign in to Gmail with your account, and then you can get your email? How do you do that?
Good question. So I saw
From Cynthia.
two questions in there. So yes, when you go to gmail.com, in our resource sheet are both web addresses for the basic HTML and the standard view, which I'm focusing on today. So
how do we
both
get
of those email or web addresses are there. And
Lou Smith has left the meeting.
Yes, you would have to log in when you first go into Gmail. Chrome, if you're using the Chrome browser, other browsers tend to remember your password, so you may not have to do it the second time. Okay?
2 participants raised hand.
Hello?
Here's looks like Charlie Short has a question.
Yes. Yes, hello. My name is Charlie Short, and and I use Gmail. Now, how do I configure Gmail to work with JAWS? Just
Jane Carona raised hand.
In the standard view.
How to configure Gmail to work with JAWS. I have very detailed instructions in my resource sheet. We don't have enough time today to go through all of those, but I have very detailed instructions on suggested settings to make your experience better.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Harrison. Cynthia Greenwell asked, when you press F to forward, are you forwarding the entire message thread or the individual message? Which command will forward an entire message thread?
That is a good question. I think, I'm not sure actually. I think it's just that particular message.
1512470.
And there's a checkbox where you can turn conversations on or off. So if conversations were on, I think you might actually send the entire thread.
So Cynthia, we'll get back to you on that one. Post.
Space. Speech on demand.
Okay, maybe we'll take one more question. Anyone else?
All right. I think that is, let's see here. It's like Jane, do you have a question, or is this?
I do.
Okay.
How do you get these resource sheets? And that was my first question. I didn't get an answer to that one.
At the very end, the last PowerPoint slide will have where to get those.
Where do we get them though? How do we get these?
You'll email us. You'll email us.
What email address do we use?
I'll
Hey,
show you
what-
that at the very end.
We saved the best for last, Jane.
Yes.
Okay.
So hang on. We'll definitely make sure you get it.
Hand now raised.
Harris, do you have time for one more question?
Yeah,
I'll give
wait, one more.
Judy Nelson.
Hi, Judy Nelson. I get into Gmail, I go to using Google Chrome, gmail.com. What is the keystroke to quickly jump to your inbox? Because there's a lot of tabbing to get to it.
It should drop you in the inbox itself. Whenever
Okay.
I've gone in, it's taken me generally to the first email in the list. What you can try is turn off your virtual PC cursor, insert Z, and then try G and then I. That should send you to the first email in the list.
Okay, and one more question. When you say you use your down arrow, are you using the arrows on the numpad or the upside down T, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Okay, I may, hopefully, maybe I'll answer some questions as I go. I'll fill in some blanks. I'm going to turn my speech back on.
Full speech.
I'm going to go back to my inbox from this open email that I was forwarding and replying to and showing you different features. So I'm going to press Alt
Alt-left arrow.
Oops. I think my focus is not on my Gmail. I'm going to Alt Tab.
Proposal zoom map down. Proposal material dash
Okay, Alt-left arrow.
back. Main region. Proposal material edit. Conversation open back. Inbox left paren 28 right paren dash access drain.
Okay, so I'm going to orient myself. I'm going to hit my down arrow.
Me, FWD : and Harris Rosenzweig. Proposal material, 9:47 a.m. Hi George, I was looking over the proposal material.
All right, I'm going to quiet the speech there. I'm on the email that I want. And now I can, if I already know I want to forward this, I know I want to reply. I don't need to open it and read it again. I can just hit my app key, that's APP. Not everyone has one. Or if you press Shift F10, that is the equivalent. So I'm going to press my app key. I have a nice external keyboard here.
Applications, context menu, reply, 1 of 15, none selected.
So what happens is the email is highlighted. The checkbox on it is checked. And I have this wonderful drop-down list of all the things that I can do to this email. The first one is reply. I'll hit the down arrow to hear a couple of them.
Reply all, 2, forward, 3 of 15, forward as attachment, 4, archive, delete, mark as unread, snooze, add to tasks, move to black right pointing pointer submenu,
Move to. So in Outlook, you have the concept of folders. In Gmail, you have the concept of labels. So label is like a folder. So I could move this to one of my labels. I just press enter.
enter, groceries, 1 of 9, grocery,
Groceries is one of the particular labels I've got. I could type in the name of the label I want, like
TCS,
and I can press down arrow because it's auto-completing, like when I'm writing an email, a new email address.
create new, TCSAccess, 1 of 3,
So if I were to press enter on that, it would move this email into the TCSAccess label. Okay, I'm going to hit escape.
escape, move to black right pointing,
Brings me back one level, back to this nice list of 15 things I can do.
label as black right pointing pointers,
I could also label this with a particular label.
mute, 12, find emails from Harris Rosenzweig,
Find emails from Harris Rosenzweig. Well, that's nice. I'm going to press enter on that and see what happens.
enter, leaving menus, inbox left paren 28 right paren dash access drain at gmail.com dash gmail, main region, grid, Harris Rosenzweig, proposal material, 9:47 a.m.
Okay, so where would you expect my focus to be? Well, on the very first email of the emails that were from Harris.
Diana has entered the waiting room for
So I'm going to press the down arrow.
unread, Harris Rosenzweig, sample, Harris Rosenzweig,
So these are all the emails
Diana
by
has-
Harris Rosenzweig. Very nicely done. So
Diana has,
I can go back. I can do Alt left arrow to go back to my previous page.
back, Harris Rosenzweig, proposal material,
So a little bit of fun with the app key or Shift F10. Very simple process there. So let's say I wanted to delete some emails. Maybe some of them are not all bunched together, as let's use the word contiguous. If I hit my down arrow, I'm gonna find two that I would like
Me, unread, 2404985.
So here's one I want to delete. So I'm going to press the X.
Impressions Mary iPhone has
to check this box.
X. None selected. Impressions.
JAWS says none selected. I'm going to press the
Impressions
down arrow and up arrow.
Selected. Unread. 24049.
And verify, yes, indeed, it was selected. I'm going to go down to the next email and put an X there.
Unread. Apple TV. Final reminder: your free one dash.
I'm going to delete that. I'm going to press X.
X. None selected.
And again, it lied to me.
Unread. Selected. Unread. Apple TV.
I just pressed the down arrow and the up arrow to verify that. So now I can press the pound key, which is Shift and the number 3, to delete those two selected emails that I did with the X. So I'm going to press Shift and 3.
Number from Anne-Marie to me: thank you, Harris. I have to leave a bit early. 2 conversations moved to trash. Undo link.
If I hit the letter Z, I could undo that action. So that is pretty cool. I think I just lost my window there, so those are now in the trash can. Let's
Anne-Marie.
look at how we can download attachments. That's another very common thing we might want to do. I'm going to press GI to make sure I'm at the top of my email.
GI, main region, grid, Harris Rosenzweig, proposal material. Me, FWD: 2 more attachments, has attachment, 9:45 a.m.
All right, here's an email with some attachments. I'm going to open it up.
Enter. FWD: 2 more attachments /accesstrain@gmail.com /gmail Google Chrome, main region, FWD: 2 more attachments edit, conversation open 1 read message.
Okay, right a lot there, but I open my email. Now I need to make sure that I have my virtual PC cursor on because I'm going to use the letter B to jump by button. And if you're comfortable with navigation on the web, you know with JAWS that one of the navigation quick keys is B for button. So I'm going to make sure my virtual PC cursor is on.
Use virtual PC cursor on.
There we go. Now I can hit the letter B.
Inbox button, remove label button, reply button, more button menu, show details button, download all attachments button. There
it is. I can press the enter key.
Enter, list, with 1 items, TCSAccess@gmail.com attachments 9:45 a.m. left 3 hours ago right.
It opens a nice window where I can hit my up and down arrow and see these 2 attachments, which I'll do next.
Loose, lesson setting Gmail to basic HTML with lesson navigating and reading messages in Gmail with JAWS.
So there they are. There's 2 attachments that pop up in this wonderfully accessible window. I'm going to press Alt F4 to get out of that window.
Alt F4, FW.
I'm going to go back to my inbox with Alt left arrow.
Back. Inbox left 26 right.
And let's say I have just 1 attachment. I'll press the up arrow.
Me, FWD: another test email with attach. Enter. FWD: another test email with attachment --sax.
And I heard a popping noise, so I think I might, my virtual PC cursor might be on. I'm going to press the letter B. Inbox button. Remove reply more button. Show details but download attachment Teria 7-3. So this requires me to hit the enter key 2 times. I'm going to press it the first time. It'll pull it in. Enter. List. With 1 items. TCSAccess@gmail.com attachments 9:45 a.m. left 3 hours ago right not. I'm going to press the enter key 1 more time. Enter. Alert. Download complete Teria 7-30-20 left 1 right docs. Press Shift plus F6 to cycle to the downloads bar area. Shift plus F6 to cycle to the downloads area. Very good. Shift F6. Shift F6. Downloads bar. Teria 7-30-20 left 1 right docs. So here's this Word document. I can press enter to open it. Enter. Opening Word. Teria 7-30. And there it is. I'll close it. Alt F4. FWD: another test email with attachment --accesstrain@gmail.com --gmail. Okay. So we've gone through attachments. I'm going to go back to my inbox here. Let's see. Let me go back, F6.
F6, main region, list, with one item. Use virtual PC cursor on. Use virtual PC cursor off.
Make sure my virtual PC cursor is off, and then I'll hit GI to go back to the top of the inbox.
GI. Grid. Harris Rosenzweig. Proposal material. 9:47 a.m. Hi George. I was looking over the proposal material.
All right, so we're almost through the Gmail portion here. Just a few more things. I want to search my inbox, which would be another common thing we'd all want to do. So I'm going to press the / key.
Slash. Inbox left paren 26 right paren dash access drain at gmail.com dash gmail dash Google Chrome. Banner region. Search region. Search mail edit has pop up. Search mail. Nikki Rios.
Search mail. Okay, now I'm just going to type in the search term good luck
GODLUK
and press enter.
Enter. Search results dash access drain at gmail.com dash gmail dash Google Chrome. Main region. Grid. Unread. Harris Rosenzweig.
Where would you expect my focus to be? Well, in the very first search result. So that it is, I'm going to press down arrow.
Harris Rose. Matt Belcher. Recolon going in. Has attachment. July 28th. Absolutely. Good luck.
There it is. There's the email I'm looking for. So very seamless, very nice. I'll press GI again to go back to my inbox. GI.
Harris Rosenzweig. Proposal material.
There it is. There's that same email we've been listening to. So going to folders. Google has done a good job with, if I want to go to my sent emails, I press GT.
GT. Me. FWD : another test email with attachment. Has
So
me.
I'm hitting the down arrow.
Me. Mail. Has attachment. 9:19 a.m. Hi Jane.
And I can see all my sent emails. If I press GD, I can go to drafts,
GD. Draft. Left paren no subject right paren.
etc. If I press GC, I can go to my contacts.
GC. Use virtual PC cursor on. Untitled dash Google Chrome. Google Contacts dash Google Chrome. Google Contacts.
So keep in mind, it does open a brand new browser tab when you do GC. And now I believe my virtual PC cursor is on. I can press the letter H.
Bowling visited heading level 3 link. Visited link pizza 3. Test distribution visited heading level 3 link.
Labels.
Visited link work TCS 1. Contacts left paren 5 right paren heading level 1.
Those are my contacts, and I can press down arrow and see them.
Bob.smith@yahoo.com. Bob.smith send mail visited link p star contact bot edit contact more actions button menu Harris Rosenzweig checkbox
And so forth. So I am in a new browser tab, and so I'm going to press Control W to close that tab and bring me back to my Gmail.
Control W. Drafts left paren 14 right paren dash
I'll press GI,
I. Harris Rosenzweig.
and I'm back to my inbox. Last thing I wanted to mention about Gmail is how to get some help about the hotkeys that are available. So I press the question mark.
Question. Keyboard shortcuts. The following keyboard shortcuts are currently enabled. Disable.
And I have to make sure that my virtual PC cursor is on to be able to read this window.
Use virtual PC cursor on. Compose and chat. Less shift greater plus less ESC greater colon. Focus main window.
And there's a whole slew of them. You can jump around and you can read those. Okay. Again, all of this is in the resource sheet. I tried to make it as detailed as possible. I'm gonna hit the escape.
Jenny
key.
escape. Main region. Grid. Table.
So as I mentioned, there are configuration settings.
Jenny
that
Bond has
will
left the
make
waiting room for this meeting.
your experience better.
Jenny Bond.
And there is a settings gear, and that is actually a button. So I'm going to make sure my virtual PC cursor is on.
Use virtual PC cursor off.
Oops.
Use virtual PC cursor on.
I'm going to hit the letter B until I hear settings.
Not start button. Not start button. Not start button.
Oops.
Not start button.
I'm going to press my F5 key to refresh my screen.
F5. Gmail dash Google Chrome. Left paren for slow connections right paren.
I heard that popping sound. I'm going to try B.
You are now connect B. No messages select B. 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 No messages selected. Use virtual PC cursor off. Use virtual PC cursor on.
Let me see if I can get to it now. I'll do B.
Not start button. Not start button. Not start button.
All right, so it's giving me some grief. So take my word, there is a settings button here that contains all of the different settings and my suggestions in my resource sheet. Okay, let me see if I do GI.
As there are no list items on this
Okay,
table, column 2, row 1, use virtual PC cursor off.
turn off my virtual PC cursor, press GI.
GI.
Okay,
Me. Harris Rosens.
I'm back. I've oriented myself. So I want to make sure that we get into the Google Calendar. And when you're in Gmail, they have a very nice feature. It's this side pane. And one of the first, there's a little app in there, the Google Calendar. The way I can get to this side pane, which is on the right side from the inbox, is by pressing Control, Alt, and either a comma or a period.
Alt Control period. Side panel complementary region. Tab. Calendar tab. 1 of 4.
Calendar tab 1 of 4. So if I press Enter on that.
Enter. Calendar tab panel. Calendar edit. Calendar tab panel. Inbox left paren 26 right paren dash TCSAccess@gmail.com dash Gmail.
Okay, this can be a very handy thing. If you're in your email, you don't want to go all the way into the calendar as its own browser tab. You just want to kind of check your schedule for the day or next week. I have it in what's called schedule view right now. I'm going to press the tab key and see what we hear.
Calendar tab panel. Calendar frame. Main region. Thursday, August 27th, 2020 button. Rick Shop has entered the waiting room. Open a new tab link. Close button. Today button. Options button menu. Schedule showing events until February 3rd, 2021. Schedule grid.
Showing events till February 3rd, 2021. Now I'm in a list and I can just press the up and down arrow. Let's try the down arrow.
6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Spanish class. Column header. Saturday, August 29th, 2020 link. 12:30 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. Lunch with Jane.
Okay, so I can up and down arrow. I can look at, oh, these are the things. And I can Control Alt, comma or period to go back to my Gmail inbox and start writing some emails. So you may want to have more functionality though. You may want to do more things in the Google Calendar, and this is where it'd be handy to open it in a new browser tab. So I'm going to Shift tab back.
Options, today, close, open a new tab link.
Open a new tab link. I'll press Enter on that.
Enter. Use virtual PC cursor on. Untitled-Google Chrome. Google Calendar-Thursday, August 27th, 2020. Today-Google Chrome. Google Calendar-Thursday, August 27th, 2020. Today.
Okay, so we heard the virtual PC cursor is on. So if I want to use some Google keystrokes, I need to turn it off.
Use virtual PC cursor off.
So Google Calendar has lots of views. We can see the day view, the week view, the month view. We also have something called agenda view. So when you first come in, sometimes the JAWS focus is somewhere we really kind of don't want it to be. It's not very convenient. So I'm going to hit the letter N. I'm in day view right now, which is for next day. And then I'll hit P for previous day to kind of sync up JAWS again.
N, main region, grid, column header, Friday, August 28th.
So if I want to see today, August 27th, I'm going to hit P for previous.
P, Thursday, August 27th, today.
So that kind of synced up my focus, and it's in the number, which has a circle around it, the number 27. If I press the tab, I want to see what events I have for today.
Google Calendar-Thursday, August 27th, 2020. Today-Google Chrome, main region, grid, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. RFP meeting, TCSAccess, accepted. Location : Silver.
Okay, I'll hit tab again.
1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Gmail and Google Calendar webinar, TCS.
We're in the webinar now.
5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pizza party, TCSAccess, accepted. No location, August 27th.
Okay, now if I was in Outlook, if I hit the tab again, it would probably move me to the next day. Well, that doesn't happen here. I would have to be in the agenda view. I can simply press the letter W, though, if I want to go to week view.
W, Google Calendar-week of August 23rd, 2000.
Or the letter M for month.
M, Google Calendar-August 2020-Google Chrome,
Or the letter A.
A, Google Calendar-schedule starting Thursday, August 27th.
To get me this nice agenda view where I can just press the down arrow like I was doing before.
10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Column 2, row 1, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., Friday, August 28th,
and
2000.
so forth. I can hit my page down key and page up key to move the whole list down to the next big block of events. I'm going to go back to the week view.
W. Google Calendar - week of August 23rd,
Press the letter W. Now I'm going to tab to one of these appointments.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, August.
There is a flaw here. I've let Google know they're going to see if they can make this a feature where the focus does not immediately go to the first appointments of that week. So if I tab to one of the appointments, I can hit E for edit.
E. Google Calendar - event details - Google Chrome. Google Calendar - event details. Main region. Cancel event changes button.
If I tab, I can tab through the details of this event.
Title edit. Management meeting. Save button. More actions button. Start date edit. August 24th, 2020. Start time edit. 10 a.m.
Okay, so I can see all of the details that are in that meeting. I'm going to hit escape.
Escape. Google Calendar - week of August 23rd, 2020 -
If I want to create a new appointment, I can press the letter C.
C. Title edit.
And,
D-I-E-S-S.
and then I can set the time, etc. I'll hit escape.
Escape. Google Calendar - event details - Google Chrome. Discard unsaved changes dialog. Enter. Main region.
And we can also go to a specific date by pressing the letter G.
G. Go to date dialog. Date edit. August 27th, 2020.
If I press the up arrow,
August 28th, 2020.
I can keep advancing by day. Sometimes JAWS will stop talking, so I use my insert tab key.
Date edit. August 29th.
I can press enter.
Enter. Google Calendar - week of August 23rd, 2020.
And I can go to that particular day. Lastly, if I want to search, I can use, again, my slash key.
Slash. Banner region. Search region.
If I type in pizza
P-I-Z-Z-A.
and press enter,
Enter. Google Calendar - search - Google Chrome. Main region. Grid. Thursday, August 27th. Today link. Prashant Mary iPhone has left the meeting.
and
5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Thursday, August 27th. 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pizza party.
there it is. It brought me right to the pizza party. So I'm going to press Alt left arrow
Back. Google Calendar - week of August 23rd.
back to my week view. Very last thing I wanted to say was to get help is Control/.
Control/. Keyboard shortcuts dialog. Close button.
And I can go through using my virtual PC cursor, using JAWS, I can go through all the different hotkeys available in Google Calendar.
Escape. Main region.
I'd like to open it up for some questions. It's 1:50. So either on Gmail or Google Calendar. And then we'll make sure I'm going to put up the the PowerPoint slide.
Ready. TCSAccess webinar - Gmail and Google Calendar for screen reader. No selection. No selection. No selection. No select. No selection.
So
If anyone has a question, you can either raise your hand or just unmute yourself and just let everyone know who you are. That would be great.
So you're basically emailing me, Harris, at TCSAccess.com. Very simple. Harris, Harris, at TCSAccess.com.
Charlie Short has left the meeting.
I also have a slide
No
here
select.
about how you can access our My AT services. There's a link, there's a phone number if you have any questions as well. That is going to be part of the PowerPoint, and we'll also have a Word document as an export of the PowerPoint.
No selection.
So any questions? I'll try to answer them. Again, as you can see, it's not perfect.
Currently unmuted.
From Stephanie Watts to everyone calling how to. Judy Nelson.
Hand now raised.
Harris, there's a question from Stephanie Watts. It says, how to sync Zoom and Google Calendar.
Ooh, to sync Zoom and Google Calendar. If I remember correctly, when I'm creating Zoom meetings, you can, there's something in Zoom, I believe, where you can add it to your Google Calendar instead of your Outlook calendar. It's been a while since I've done that, but I believe that that feature is there when you get the invitation, or if you're creating the email, the invite.
All right, Harris. Judy Nelson has her hand up. Judy, you can go right ahead when you're ready.
Thank you. Quite simply, I wanted to know if you could repeat that email address, your email address. I missed it.
Sure. It's my first name, Harris, Harris, at TCS, Tango Charlie Sierra, access.com.
Thank you.
Judy Nelson has lowered hand. Space. Speech on demand.
JAWS doesn't announce everything. So yeah, the focus can sometimes get a little bit lost. Somewhat of a consequence, I think, of being on the web in general. Some of the techniques I've used are F5 to refresh my screen. Sometimes Alt left arrow and Alt right arrow to go backwards one page and forward one page. Sometimes in Calendar, it's about changing the view from, say, day view to week view, and then week view back to day to resync things. So it's not perfect, but I found it very usable.
Harris, this is Stephanie.
Yes.
I'm also wondering, can you, or how might we get the PowerPoint presentation? Should we just also email you to request that?
Correct. If you email me, I will send you the whole package. So the PowerPoint, the export to Word of the PowerPoint, the resource sheet, which goes into detail about the processes I went over today, the configuration, etc., and the transcript from the captioner.
And also, will you have a podcast or URL in your resource materials?
We do have a YouTube channel. I have to check with my colleagues to see if this will go up there.
Yes, because I definitely want to hear this again. This is great information. I appreciate your being so thorough. I know your time is short, and there's a lot more I have to learn about the calendar in particular, but you've got me at least to a point of understanding the difference between using just JAWS and using the native Google keys. So thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Sure, absolutely.
We'll be sharing our, Harris, we can include our YouTube, a link to our YouTube channel that has all of our webinars that we've done as well. So once we get this uploaded, we'll include it with the rest so that you have access to everything.
And if I could just say one last thing, please do another, when your time permits, do another detailed presentation specifically on the calendar, because I think the calendar is really huge, at least in my life, and Zoom and connections. And I inadvertently put a Zoom meeting on, tried to put it on the Google Calendar, lost the meeting, lost the Zoom link, and anyway, so if you could maybe consider doing a whole hour on the calendar, that would be helpful.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, adding to your workload, Harris.
I don't think of anything else I can add.
Yeah, Harris, we have about 3 or 4 minutes here. Does anyone else have any additional questions?
Anything I can go over again, or? as I was saying, the real key is
Currently unmuted.
the virtual
Can
PC.
you hear me, Judy Nelson?
Yes, Judy.
You went over some keystrokes that I was quickly trying to write down, and I wasn't quite writing fast enough. It wasn't on the Google Calendar. It was like composing, forwarding, that type thing. Is that all going to be on the? I guess that will be all on the information that you can email to us once you hear from us.
That's correct.
Okay.
And they're pretty much what you would think they would be. Once your virtual PC cursor is off, then you could just press R for reply, C for compose, F for forward. If you're replying all, it's the letter A.
Okay, that's pretty
But
self-explanatory.
that'll be in the sheet.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
All right, we have a couple more minutes. Any other questions before we wrap up?
Alert. The host has acknowledged your raised hand.
There's a lot of stuff that goes with Gmail. If you tab around the site, will you be doing any webinars on how to use any of that?
Anything in particular that you're thinking of feature-wise, or?
Like there's Google Chat, there's a bunch of stuff.
I guess when we get enough interest, I'm not sure. Like, I know people are using Google Meet as like an alternate to Zoom. I think chat is popular, but we've been focusing on the basics, the Google Docs,
Right.
Chrome, Google Drive, Gmail Calendar. We might do slides and sheets, but we've been trying to focus on the things we think most people are using for now.
Is this the one that you did just now? Is this part of a series that you've been doing?
Yes, I can't remember how many weeks ago or months ago we did the first one in the series was Chrome and Google Drive, and then that was my colleague Ben, and then Ben did Google Docs a couple of weeks back, and then this is the latest in the G Suite series.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. Okay, thank you.
And Judy, this not just to you, but to everyone, if anyone has specific questions or they need specific training, we can certainly help everyone out with that. So
Okay.
if it's not something that's covered in these webinars, then we're more than happy to assist on a one-on-one virtual training platform.
Thank you.
Okay, Harris, I think we've hit the 2 o'clock mark.
Okay. Thank you everyone for attending.
Thank you for your assistance and your training. That was very good.
All right, my pleasure.
All right, thanks everybody. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
Alert. Cindy Suarez has left alert. Janique Leopold has left the meeting.